YouTube channel. I am Anushka, and in this video today I am going to tell you that whether all these young adult fantasy popular books deserve the hype or not. And let me make it easy for you because I am going to give you a concept. Like, I'm not introducing this concept, but this concept already exists, but I'm introducing this concept in my video of yes, no and maybe. So I will list all those popular books which are really hyped according to me, and then I will tell you that yes, no or maybe. Like, okay, I don't think so any of those books will be a no, but like, so let's start. So okay, let's start with the Folk of Their series. The series which is most loved and most hated. Like, I can literally tell you that whatever you say, like whatever you say good about Folk of the Air, the opposite also exists. Like, people really hate that series and people also love that series. But what I want to tell you about the series is that do not expect that you will get very romantasy type of thing. That is a political fantasy, and the romance in that series is a subplot, so people expect the romance to be the plot, and then they get disappointed. Also, the first book is a lot about world building, so the first half of the first book is really boring, not according to me but according to the people it is boring, but for me it was not, because I was enjoying the world building. I was enjoying that how the world of Elfame works and all these kind of things. And that series is also really close to my heart because it was the introduction of the fantasy world to me. Like, that was my first fantasy series, young adult fantasy series, so that's why I love that series. So I would say that the Folk of the Air series is a total yes. Like, you should absolutely go for it. And like, one advice which I want to give you is that do not just judge that book, or I would say do not judge that series, like whole series, just on the basis of the first book. I know, like, the first book may seem a lot complicating to you, a lot of world building is in there, and you don't get to the plot very quickly. But just be patient, because whatever you're going through, it is worth it. It is going to pay. And when you reach the second book, it is going to be hell more interesting, trust me. It is going to be interesting. And one thing which I like about Holy Black is that she ends her book with a cliffhanger. Like, you cannot stop reading, man. And once I started, I just finished reading The Folk of the Air. I was that much fascinated by her, basically her work, that I bought these two books. Like, I should tell you that these, and The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne. And I know I should not expect anything. Like, people just expect more of Jude and Carden in this book, but I want you all to understand that this series exists on its own. Okay, this doesn't need the validation of Jude and Carden to be exist on its own. Just expect the story of Oak. Do not go there for Jude and Carden. Basically, I would say that's a way to not to get disappointed. So yeah, Folk of the Air, 100% yes. Then let's move on to the book which got recently famous, Phantasma. I know it is not a young adult, it is an adult, I know, but this is also famous, that's why I am including it. But I would say it's a maybe. Like, I would not say that it's a total yes, because for all those people who love the world building, who love that absolute mesmerizing vibes of basically of a fictional world, like Kingdom of Elfame, Kingdom of Elia, Magnificent North, Sector 45, everything, like each and everything like that. I like I'm not sure whether you are going to love it, because this book is not this book does not include that kind of world building type of thing. This book basically is about a girl who has OCD, and she basically, her mother died, and she has a what do we say, argument with her little sister. And then in order to find the little sister, she just enters the Phantasma, which is a kind of haunted house, and then she will have to basically like she will have to cross 9 level of hell to grant a wish from the devil. and that wish would be to find her little sister. That this is what this book is about. And this book, you do not need to turn your brain on, okay? You just can, it's just that, suppose you are returning home from a very hectic day, you can read it, because you can even read it with your last two brain cells left. That's what I can say. And I did not explain the folk of there because I am expecting that you know about that book. That book is about Jude. Like, that book is really popular. I won't, like, if you haven't heard any single thing, then you can go blind, okay? So this is a maybe, like you can or you cannot. This is totally up to you. The next book is also adult, okay? It is not a young adult. This is One Dark Window, which got recently famous, and I would say that this is a total yes. And man, I'm literally telling you that read this when there's the environment of, what do we say, like, rain is about to happen and clouds are gone black, something like that. Read this book in that kind of environment. It will enhance the experience, because we follow the kingdom of blunder in this book, and in that kingdom of blunder there is no sunlight, nothing like that. I love the environment of mist. The vibe of this book is really amazing. The foresty vibe, that misty vibe, the dark woods. Like you are living in the woods, and there is dark, there is no sunlight, there is mist all over. The vibes are really amazing. I loved this book. Like, when I say I like fantasy, I exactly mean this series, okay? The Shepherd King duology, One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. And I would say I absolutely fell in love with this series. Like, man, I did not expected a single thing. I did not expect a single thing about this series. And the way it not only, oh my god, it is, like, when I just read this One Dark Window, it exceeded my expectations for the next book, and the next book obviously fulfilled all of my expectations. I loved that series. So basically this is about, a girl who basically touches a card, and there was a nightmare trapped in that card, and then the nightmare gets in her head, and throughout her life, like, she's now in her 30s or something like that. The girl is Elspeth Spindle, and she has a nightmare in her head which helps her, but magic comes at a cost, and she has to pay a cost. Like, she really has to pay. And throughout the book she follows a lead, basically a group. Basically she follows a group, and that that group basically collects a lot of 12, I guess, yeah, 12 providence cards. There's a unique magic system in this, okay? So there are cards and all these kind of things, and they all collect 12 providence cards. Like, they have a mission to collect 12 providence cards to lift that mist. So Elspeth Spindle joins that group, and in that group she meets Raven Yu, and then she has to fake date him. And then so, like, this is a fantasy first, trust me. This is not a romantic, this is a fantasy first. And I would say this is the absolute 100% or 1000% yes. You should definitely read the series, okay? Now, now in the actual young adult, this series, like, Powerless series. Of course, I have read the whole series, and I have also read the novella in between, like the Powerful. Okay. Oh man, that book, The Powerful, that book was really painful, like excruciatingly painful. So, like, I would say this series is a maybe, and I know I should not say maybe because this is everyone's favorite. Everybody loves this series, and I should say a definite yes. But why am I saying because of Fearless? Like, man, in this book, Powerless, basically, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, we follow a girl. Basically, this is a dystopian. You can call it as dystopian because there is a world in which they are elites, and they are ordinary, and ordinary are hated by the elites, and then, like, Peyton, the FMC of this book is an ordinary, like, yeah, she's an ordinary, and what do we say, Kai Ezer is elite. So basically, then the story basically progresses because Peyton Gray has to, participate in trials, and in that trial, everybody is elite, but she is hiding that she is an ordinary, because if she reveals that she is ordinary, she will risk her life. So like even the line says that only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. So I would say, like, I really like this. I really, really, really loved this book. I would say I couldn't stop reading. This was that addictive, and but then I read The Powerful. Basically, I was really like I was really pissed that what happened to Irina, because that what she did not deserve that. Okay, then I read Reckless. I was like, okay, okay. But when I read Fearless, I was really pissed when a lot of characters died. Like, there was no single reason, and throughout the series I felt so bad about Kid. He did not deserve that. Okay, he literally did not deserve what he got. And also the ending felt a little bit rushed. Yeah, it felt a little bit rushed. I like, and this book could end like, I was feeling that like Lauren Roberts is just dragging the story till 500 pages. I felt that. Also, the ending was rushed, so that's what I can say. I know I'm literally criticizing this book series, but trust me, this is good. But I don't think this is as much good as others. Like, it's a maybe. Like, don't hate me for it. I just don't like the series. Like, I'm not. I like the series, but I just don't love this series just because of this book, Fearless. So, like, don't hate me, okay? Then we have we have Once Upon a Broken Heart series. This series, and man, it's a 1000% yes. Like, you should definitely read this series. Like, and basically, it starts with Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I really love Stephanie Garber for writing this amazing, amazing series. It was so, 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 so good. Like, how do I even explain it? I think you should go blind in this series, but still I would say that, I would give you a little blurb. Like, Evangeline Fox is a girl, is a hopeless romantic girl, and she really is a very strong female character. Okay, so she's in love with Luke, and Luke is marrying her sister. So she goes to the Fate, which is Jax of the Hollow, and to make a bargain, to make a deal or something of that sort. And then the story progresses because Jax do something very ridiculous. So I would say that you should read the series and go blind into it. You do not need to know much about reading much about the series. And if you go to internet searching the series, you will literally get a lot of spoilers. So I would say avoid that and just read this, because trust me, you are going to absolutely love it, like really love it. And one advice which I can give you is that when you reach like this much, like the second book, and when you finish this much and when this much is left, man, just keep a box of tissue paper beside you. Okay, beside yourself, keep a box of tissue paper or handkerchief or something like that. You are going to need it, because this part of this whole book is going to rip your heart out, is going to like break your heart into million pieces, and like is going to like break something in you that would never be healed. Okay, and that will keep on hurting till I guess this much of this book, third book. So I would say, but still I would say read this series. It is a very, very, very amazing series. I think you should read it. And the last but not the least, we have Shatter Music. Now, can I make a video about young adult fantasy and not include Shatter Me? Is it true? Like, no, not at all. Like I don't know why I just recently read this series, okay, Shatter Me series, and I would say it is a absolute yes. Like you should definitely read this series. But I would say do not expect much from book one. Like book one is the hardest to get through, okay? Like if you're patient enough to finish book one, then congrats, you can read the rest of the series. But just be a little bit patient, because I know you have heard a lot of good things about Shatter Me series, and I know you know a lot about Aaron Warner Anderson. Most of you maybe start reading from like for him, but I would say you don't get a lot of him in book one, okay? You need to keep that in mind, because we get a lot about Adam Kent, okay, Adam Kent in book one and book two. So prepare yourself for that, okay? Prepare yourself for that, I would say. But if you are patient enough to get through this one, congrats, man! You're going to love Shadow series. So I think this is it for today. I think that this is the right time to end this video, because I think I have like literally talked about all those young adult fantasy, like popular young adult fantasy, which I have read. Like I have read a lot of other young adult fantasy series too and books too, but I don't think they are popular. Like, is this popular? Not at all. So I'm not going to talk about that, okay? Like even this is not popular. So maybe in some other video. Till then, tada, bye bye. See you in next video. Bye.